everybody, this is Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover the Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey cases, but also as time passes, I've been covering other cases such as the Staircase or OJ and many wrongful convictions of youth. I go over the documents, the photos, the videos, anything case related. So stay tuned, because I have many more videos just like the one you're about to see. Everybody, we're back today talking a little bit about Michael Funk, Eagle Nation Cycles, Steve Arado, a little bit about the situation there. Obviously, I mean, it's a heartbreaking situation, really, truly. I can understand, what happened on the cop side. I can understand how they felt on, Eagle Nation side, but for me, there's one big problem in this that I think is just glaring and obvious. And so I'm going to go ahead and be probably pointing that out today. What we're going to be looking at today is basically a timeline of the critical events around when Michael Funk got shot. So it's going to be made up of footage from the time. It's going to so basically to illustrate what that means. We're going to start out. We're going to be watching a body cam of one of the officers on what they called the hastily put together raid. So we're going to see a body cam of one of those officers, and we're going to see them trying to enter, basically, to try and go through this door, and we're going to kind of see what happens there and everything. And it's going to move on to another segment, but I'm going to jump in before that happens. So here we go. This is going to be what's been called the hasty raid, to try to go in and end the hostage situation that Brian Fladoff was creating at Eagle Nation Cycles that day. And you can see how it goes, and here we go.
Don't go over here.
We gotta get up behind. Come on!
You hit?
Cover the door! I got it! Let me go! Get him out of here, Ashley! Get him out of here! Anybody in the building? I'm out! Talk to me! Yep. I hurt my leg. Okay. You're up, you're up. Back off! There's not no fucking hostages right this shit. Back it up.
Go on this one.
Alright, everybody, so what you saw there was the entrance of the hastily put together raid crew to try to attempt to stop, the hostage situation that Brian Fladoff was creating. Didn't work so well. As you can see, it fell apart almost instantly. It was just, it just didn't work out. And in that process, folks, Fladoff fired, and I guess the story is anyway, and Fladoff was drunk, by the way, folks, almost completely drunk. He'd been drinking all night and didn't really sleep. And so anyways, apparently he hits Hoffer, okay? Hits him in the helmet. Hoffer doesn't die or anything like that. He just gets hit in the helmet. Gets a pretty severe lump on his head and stuff, right? Anyway, but he gets hit. And so they get out and whatever, and they go, and you see him run around that corner or whatever. That's where, nearby there anyway, I think around another corner or whatever, that's where they kind of, he met up with the superior officer. Basically, the superior officer told him to stay out of this, don't do anything, don't get involved. And he ended up going back and getting right back into it and disobeying his command, his lieutenant, who gave him 2 orders not to. And anyway, just pretty wild, what Hoffer did, considering after being hit, he was compromised. I mean, suddenly he wasn't going to be thinking clearly. And most places in the world know that. You may have heard Travis on my channel talking about that. in Austin, Texas, as soon as that would have happened to an officer, they would have immediately been removed. No ifs, ands, or buts. They'd have been ordered out. If they would have done what Hoffer did, they would have immediately been terminated from their job, and and then possibly potential litigation. Who knows? But so the problem is Hoffer remaining involved when he shouldn't have been, when he should have listened to the orders that were given, and he should have been removed himself, and he shouldn't have been involved because he wasn't thinking clearly. And there is a little bit of evidence that we've been kind of looking through that kind of shows that to a certain extent, that other officers on the scene were interpreting Michael Funk's actions as those of somebody who was escaping the hostage situation and was afraid the hostage taker was about to come out through that door. So, for what it's worth. Anyways, okay, so now we're going to move on to the next bit where you get to see, right after this raid fails, and you get to see what happens inside of Eagle Nation Cycles. And so here we go.
Close that back door. Close the back door.
Sir,
Close the back door.
sir, can you hear me? Sir?
Hold on, he's closing the back door right now. If you fucking run out that back door, I'm gonna fucking unload on you.
Sir? Sir, can you please?
This is him.
109.
More shots fired. He's out back in the... He's in the alley. One's down. One's down.
Shot fired in the alley, one down. One down.
Okay.
Do you have an observation? Because we are walking to location. Show me your hand! Hoffer, we better come around. Watch that door. I got the dude that's down.
All right, I got the door. You want me to go up and check? Or you want to wait?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I can care less right now. Hoffer, what's the status?
The suspect.
One of the Hoffer's on SWAT. Suspect down. We're watching the back door here. He's one hand down, back alley. Name is long hair, gray and black hair.
Alright, so as I told you, Hoffer was hit. Should have never been back in the game. He decided to refuse orders to stand down, essentially, and remove himself. And he went and put himself back into the situation where he saw Michael Funk trying to escape after he saw the failed attempt by the police to, stop the situation. He is told to go close the back door, and so he escapes through it because he's desperate and doesn't know if the police are coming back. He doesn't know if they're, he doesn't know what's going on, and so he pops out through that door, he gets fired at by the hostage taker. And the thing is that most people observing the situation, and I'm going to play a close-up of this it's kind of blurry, but I'm going to make it where it's bigger and more close-up, where you see the situation where Michael comes out of the back of Eagle Nation Cycles and everything that happens there. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now, but for me the big thing is that Hoffer should have never have been back there to be able to pull the trigger on Michael Funk. He really had no business, and it's like I said, most police departments and stuff, they make officers stand down, and with officers that do like Hoffer did, they don't give them awards, they fire them or terminate them, and that sort of stuff. So that's my big bone to pick at this point in time. So alright, we'll go ahead and show you guys the close-up of it right now, and we'll come on back one more time.
Sir? Sir, can you please?
This is him.
109.
More shots fired. He's out back in the... He's in the alley. One's down. One's down.
Shots fired in the alley, one down.
One down. Okay.
Do you have an observation? Because we are walking to location. Show me your hand! Officer, we better come around. Watch that door. I got the dude that's down.
All right, I got the door. You want me to go up and check? Or you want to wait?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I care less right now. Officer, what's the status?
Suspect. The suspect.
One with an officer on check, SWAT. Suspect down. We're watching the back door here. He's in one hand down, back alley. And his long hair, green, black hair.
Okay, so that was it. All close, a little closer up there. It's a little blurrier because it wasn't a high resolution image, so when I zoomed in, it didn't get to be the clearest image. But I mean, you guys can run that thing back and look and judge for yourself. Did Michael Funk look like somebody that was running out of that cycle shop who meant someone harm, or did he look like somebody who was running for their life? And truly, he looked like he was running for his life. Now, was he reaching for the concealed sidearm he's licensed to carry? Well, he may have been, because he could have been very much afraid that Fladoff was going to come out of that door firing at him at any second, right? So, I mean, you know, but I understand that the police can make a mistake, but the problem is with Hoffer is the fact that he had been hit. He had a chip on his shoulder. His judgment was greatly, you know, compromised. When he was ordered twice to stay out, he should have done that. He should have stayed out. And I think because, and trust me, some of the other officers were interpreting it the way that I am, and were the way most of us do. When we look at that, where we see somebody who's terrified and trying to escape from a terrible situation, and you know, and so some of the actual officers on the scene were kind of interpreting it that way as well. And you know, so this is why I say that he was compromised, because he had been hit. He had been compromised, and that's why we typically remove officers from the situation, because we know that they can have chips on their shoulders and they can end up making silly mistakes like this one. And it's unfortunate and it's terrible. I feel horrible for Michael Funk's family and his friends and loved ones and everything. But, you know, it's just... on top of everything else, they gave Hoffer an award for this instead of terminating him for disobeying orders. It's just absolutely sickening. So anyway, that's about it for this one, folks. Wanted everybody to see the timeline of the progression of how things kind of happen in real time, but through your own eyes, you know, or through the eyes of the cameras that were monitoring it. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Hit subscribe for Stacy, Tracy, Allie, Paul, you know, Linda, all of them, folks. Anyways, we'll see you.